Hello friends, today we discuss malaria in detail. This is one of the important topic of the second MBBS as it is frequently asked as a short note in pathology as well as in the microbiology. It is most important in microbiology as life cycle of the malaria is frequently asked. This is also important as India is an endemic country for the malaria. We have a large number of the people who suffered from the malaria as well as it is one of the major cause of death in the children below 5 years of the age as well as in the pregnant women. So, this is an important topic. Do you know what is a causative organism for the malaria? Yes, it is a Plasmodium species which is unicellular, eukaryotic, intracellular parasite. There are various species of the Plasmodium. They are Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale and Plasmodium malariae. Out of them, Plasmodium falciparum is most important as it is responsible for the more than 50% of the cases of malaria. It is one of the important cause of mortality as well as morbidity due to the severe malaria cases. Vivax is also important and it is known for the wide geographical distribution. It is common in the tropical as well as subtropical countries, but it is rare in the Africa. Almost 43% of the malaria cases in the world, they are due to the Plasmodium vivax infection, while ovale and malariae is rare. Plasmodium falciparum is known for high level of the parasitemia, severe anemia and complications like algid malaria, cerebral malaria, black water fever. While P. vivax is known for the low level of the parasitemia, comparatively mild anemia and less complications. The complications are in the form of the splenic rupture and nephrotic syndrome. Do you know how the malaria spread? Yes, it is spread by the mosquito bite. Female Anopheles is a known organism which transmit malaria from one person to another person. Due to the bite of the female Anopheles mosquito, sporozoites enter in the human being which are taken up by the hepatocytes or liver cells. In the hepatocytes, the sporozoites mature and it leads to the release of the merozoites. The merozoites infect RBC. In the RBC, merozoites undergo maturation and it leads to the various forms of the malaria. The released merozoites, they are able to infect newer RBCs. Under certain conditions, the merozoites become mature and it leads to the formation of the sexually mature form which is known as gametocytes. When female Anopheles mosquito take bite from the human being, the gametocytes enter in the mosquito and undergo maturation. The sexual cycle goes in the female Anopheles mosquito. These mosquito lead to the formation of the sporozoites and again the cycle repeats. So, the sexual cycle undergo in the female Anopheles mosquito while asexual cycle in the human being. In detail, there are the cycle of the mosquito, the cycle of the Plasmodium species is as follows. Female Anopheles mosquito which contains sporozoites in their salivary gland. When mosquito bite the human being, these sporozoites enter in the human being. These sporozoites are able to infect hepatocytes. They bind to the hepatocytes through the various receptors like thrombospondin receptor, and sporozoites attach with the help of the thrombospondin receptor. they enter in the hepatocytes. The Plasmodium species undergo maturation and it leads to the formation of the merozoites in the hepatocytes. When almost 30,000 of the merozoites are formed, the hepatocytes rupture and merozoites release in the blood circulation. These merozoites are able to infect the RBC. The cycle in the hepatocytes is known as exoerythrocytic cycle, which takes almost 8 to 12 weeks. This is an asymptomatic period after infection. During this period, person have Plasmodium species in their blood or hepatocytes but do not have any signs and symptoms. In case of the Vivax, some of the cells they form hypnozoites and remain in the liver, which are known for the relapse in case of the P. vivax, while hypnozoites do not form in case of the falciparum, so no relapse occurs in case of the Plasmodium falciparum. Once merozoites release from the hepatocytes, they are able to infect the RBC. Do you know how the RBC infected? Yes, the merozoites have receptor which bind to the glycophorin on the RBC membrane. They are able to bind with the sialic acid residue like glycophorin on the RBC membrane. After binding, the merozoites enter in the RBC. They lead to the formation of the erythrophagocytic vacuole and they are known for the disruption of the hemoglobin. The Plasmodium undergo maturation in the vacuole inside the RBC. The first known stage of the Plasmodium species is known as trophozoites, which formed in the RBC. The trophozoite is the form which have a single chromatin dot and a ring. When trophozoites undergo maturation, the schizonts is formed. Schizonts is known for the large number of the chromatin dots. Later on, from each chromatin dot, merozoites are formed. When large number of the merozoites are formed, they lead to the rupture of the RBC membrane and released in the blood. When merozoites release in the blood, there is a bout of the fever. Why there is bout of the fever? Due to the release of the merozoites, there are release of the various cytokines like TNF alpha. This cytokine is responsible for the rise in the temperature and so there is a fever in case of the release of the Plasmodium merozoites from the RBC. This cycle which undergo in the RBC is known as erythrocytic cycle, which takes 48 hours in case of the Plasmodium vivax while 72 hours in case of the Plasmodium falciparum. So, fever in case of the vivax is occur at 48 hours, which is known as alternate day fever, while in case of the P. falciparum, fever occurs at the interval of 72 hours. That means every third day it is known as quartan fever. In case of the malaria, the life cycle in the erythrocytic cycle stage is 96 hours. So, fever occur at every fourth day, which is known as quartan fever. Under certain condition, the trophozoites undergo maturation and it lead to the formation of the gametocytes. These gametocytes is a sexually mature form which is banana shape in case of the P. falciparum while oval in case of the P. vivax and P. ovale. These gametocytes remain in the peripheral blood for a longer period of the time. When mosquito take bite from the human being, these sexually mature form, that is gametocytes, enter in the mosquito and female Anopheles mosquito take gametocytes in the mosquito. The sexual cycle goes on from the male and female gametocytes. There is a macrogamete and microgamete form. These macro and microgamete combine with one another and it lead to the formation of the ookinete. Later on oocyst is formed and from the oocyst large number of the sporozoites are formed. These sporozoites released due to the rupture of the oocyst and they are stored in the salivary gland of the mosquito which able to infect newer human being. So sexual cycle is going on in the mosquito while asexual cycle occurs in the human being. Why falciparum is known for high complications? Because in case of the falciparum there are various differences in the pathogenicity, as Vivax is able to infect single RBC and that affect only one type of the RBC, either old RBC or young RBC. So less number of the RBCs are involved at a time. While in case of the falciparum, it able to infect all old as well as new RBC. So large number of or large fraction of the RBC pool is involved. So high level of the anemia or severe degree of the anemia occurs in case of the P. falciparum infection. Over and above this, the P. falciparum is known for the clumping of the RBC with one another, which lead to the formation of the rosettes, as well as there is formation of the nopes on the RBC surface. These are P. falciparum erythrocyte membrane receptor protein 1, that is PFEMP1, which bind with the various receptors on the endothelial surface like ICAM1, VCAM1, thrombospondin, CD36, E-selectin, etc. Due to binding of these nopes on the receptor of the endothelium, this lead to the blockage of the various capillaries, and this is responsible for the complications like cerebral malaria, as it decreases the perfusion in the organs involved. In case of the P. falciparum infection, GPI linked protein including merozoite surface antigen, which are able to release large number of the cytokines, and these cytokines including TNF alpha, interferon gamma, IL-1, they suppress the production of the RBC. Also responsible for the occurrence of the fever, and they stimulate production of the reactive nitrogen species, which ultimately responsible for the tissue damage. So due to all these causes, falciparum is responsible for the severe infection than P. vivax. The periodicity of the malarial fever is depend upon the release of the merozoites from the RBC after cell rupture. It is second day in case of the P. falciparum, which is known as subtertian malaria. Third day in case of the P. vivax and P. ovale, which is known as tertian malaria. And fourth day in case of the Plasmodium malariae, which is known as quartan fever. Which are the other signs and symptoms of malaria? They depend upon the organ involved as well as hemolysis. Hemolysis lead to the occurrence of the icterus, jaundice and splenomegaly. Various other organs are involved like skin shows sweating, as malaria fever has a 3 stages. Initial stage of the chills, rigors and chills, followed by rise in temperature, and fall in temperature is associated with the sweating. The respiratory involvement lead to the dry cough. Along with this, there is a fatigue and pain, particularly headache, back pain is common in case of the malarial infection. There is a splenomegaly occurs due to the enlargement of the spleen. Why anemia? Anemia is due to the destruction of the RBC. In case of the long-term repeated infection, the child who is suffered from the malaria is suffering from the learning deficit, spontaneous abortion in case of the female, and reduced growth of the baby or fetus. Various other organs like brain is known for the encephaly, particularly in case of the cerebral malaria. Heart shows changes of congestive cardiac failure. There is hepatosplenomegaly, and kidney shows hemoglobinuric syndrome, that is acute renal failure. Due to the malaria infection, there is a immunity occurs, and this immunity may be in form of the two types of the immunity. One is intrinsic resistance and acquired resistance. Intrinsic resistance is due to the reduced susceptibility of the red cell against Plasmodium species like fetal hemoglobin, hemoglobin S, thalassemia, G6PD deficiency, and binding of P vivax to the RBC membrane is required Duffy blood group antigen. In African people, the Duffy blood group antigen is absent, so African people are resistant to the P vivax infection. Acquired infection occurs due to the prolonged or repeated exposure to the Plasmodium species, which is particularly occurs in the endemic area due to the somewhat immunity against the malaria infection. There are clinical course of the P. falciparum depend upon the various stages like asymptomatic parasitemia, that is also known as clinical immunity. It occurs in the older children as well as adult who have a acquired immunity as they resides in the endemic area. They suffer from the malarial infection, P. falciparum infection. They have parasite in their blood but do not have any signs and symptoms. The other stage is acute uncomplicated malaria. This occurs at any age, but mostly the person have some degree of the immunity against malaria. The affected person become ill, suffer from fever, but do not have any complications of malaria. While the third is the severe complicated malaria. As falciparum is known for the various complications, these complications are due to the blockage of the internal capillaries or capillaries of the internal organ due to the malarial parasite. Various complications like cerebral malaria, severe anemia, along with this hypoglycemia, metabolic acidosis, and many others. Cerebral malaria is a well-known cause for the severe manifestations of the malarial infection, particularly P. falciparum. It is defined as unarousable coma persisting for more than 1 hour. The person who have a asexual form of the Plasmodium falciparum in their blood and rule out the other causes of the encephalopathy. This occurs most commonly in the young children who are not immune to the P. falciparum infection. Cerebral malaria rapidly progresses to the death even after the treatment, and case fatality rate due to the cerebral malaria is almost 20 to 30%. The survivor who are survived from the coma, they have a neurological sequelae which is almost 5% in the adults and more than 10% of the children. Why there is a cerebral malaria in case of the P. falciparum? It occurs as a result of reduced cerebral blood flow. Due to the reduction in the blood flow, why there is reduction? Because blockage of the capillaries of the internal organ, that is brain, by the parasitized RBC. There is a clumping and rosettes formation of the parasitized RBC. The RBC also attaches to the endothelial surface, and ultimately it is responsible for the reduction in the blood flow. This reduction in the blood flow is ultimately responsible for the cerebral hypoxia. Along with this, there is a release of various cytokines which ultimately responsible for the release of the nitric oxide, which is a depressor of the consciousness. There are other complications of the Plasmodium falciparum infection. Out of this, severe anemia is the most common. It is defined as anemia less than or hematocrit less than 15%, hematocrit less than 15%, and hemoglobin level is below 5 gram per deciliter. This occurs due to the destruction of the parasitized red cell, destruction of unparasitized red cell by the complement mediated lysis, bone marrow suppression, and hemolysis by the various medications, particularly in the patient suffering from G6PD. Hypoglycemia, it is another complication. It is defined as less than 2.5 millimole per liter sugar in the blood. This is responsible for the mortality and various other sequelae of the cerebral malaria in the children. The person present with the convulsion and deterioration of the consciousness. Why there is a hypoglycemia? Reduced glycogen store because reduced food intake. There is increased metabolism of glucose due to the fever and repeated convulsion. Glucose consumption by the malarial parasite, and cytokine or quinine stimulated hyperinsulinemia. Metabolic acidosis, it is defined as lactic acidosis, which is a major contributor, and it results from the tissue anoxia and anaerobic glycolysis. The person present with the deep rapid respiration, as in case of the diabetic ketoacidosis. Acute renal failure, it is almost exclusively in the adults and older children. Affected persons, they are oliguric, urinary output is below 400 ml per day or anuric, that is below 50 ml per day. Serum creatinine level is elevated. Acute pulmonary edema, it is a grave and fatal manifestation of the severe falciparum infection, particularly in adult. The person have a hyperparasitemia, renal failure, and it is commonly associated with the pregnancy, particularly hypoglycemia and increased metabolic acidosis. Circulatory collapse, it is characterized by the cold, clammy skin and rapidity of the respiratory rate. It commonly occurs or associated with the peripheral cyanosis and 3D pulse. Algid malaria, it is characterized by the hypotension, diarrhea, vomiting, and rapid respiratory rate associated with the oliguria. Black water fever, it is another name for the hemoglobinuria. It results from the massive intravascular hemolysis. The condition present with the severe pallor, jaundice, and passage of the dark urine due to the hemoglobinuria. It is associated with the acute renal failure. In the pregnancy, the malaria is fatal. It is known for the maternal anemia, stillbirth, premature delivery, and intrauterine growth retardation in the babies. How will you diagnose a case of the malaria? A good history with physical examination, as person is suffering from the pallor, associated jaundice, hepatosplenomegaly, and history of the fever. There are 3 stages: fever with rigor, rise in temperature, and when fall in the temperature it is associated with the perspiration. Along with this, laboratory diagnosis is most important. In the lab diagnosis, we have most important in case of the malaria infection is thick as well as thin smear examination. In case of the thick smear, we are able to screen large volume of the blood, and so low level of the parasitemia can be detected by the thick smear examination. It is used to detect parasite density and monitoring of the response to the treatment. While thin smear is important for the species identification, as parasitic morphology is better seen under the thin smear. This slide shows presence of the ring form or trophozoites in case of the P. falciparum. It has a single chromatin dot which is surrounded by the ring. The parasite, in fact, more than one parasite are seen in the single RBC, or more than one chromatin dot is seen in case of the per ring. It is P. falciparum. In this slide we are able to see the gametocyte form, which is a banana shape or sexual stage which the parasite able to take in their blood meal. Over and above the peripheral smear examination, there are various other methods to diagnose malaria. They are antigen capture kit. We have a rapid testing kit for the malarial parasite. It detects antigen. The result is available within 10 to 15 minutes. These tests have sensitivity of the high grade, but this test is expensive. The another is PCR based method which detect parasitic DNA as well as mRNA sequence. Sensitivity is very high, but test is very expensive, so not done routinely, as well as these also require technical expertization. Various fluorescent technique is also available in case of the malaria, but it has a low specificity and sensitivity and cannot detect the species of the malarial parasite. It is expensive and required skilled personnel to test. Serological test is also available. It is based on the immunofluorescence detection of the antibody against Plasmodium species. It is useful for the epidemiologic but not for the diagnostic purposes. Thank you.